that's kind of how our initial tokenomics are and where we're at today.
100%. I appreciate that, Chris. So yeah, I mean, oh my God, BNB today, right? Last I looked was a few hours ago. It was hovering right around $230 per BNB, which was quite the drop. I think it's about a 20% decrease in the past 7 days. So like you said, anybody who's paired with BNB, it's going to look quite devastating on a chart, right? So with that being said, with your Diamond Hands heist, you said you had one event recently. Is that going to be a multiple type event for your Diamond Hand heist?
We actually set up to have 2 Diamond Hand heists. The first one was the tokens, but the tokens were not excluded from rewards. So rewards were accumulating, and we actually accumulated quite a bit of rewards from it. And so the second Diamond Hands heist is going to be a distribution of the BUSD rewards for it. There's only 2 set up. As we move forward and more revenues produced and things like that, we may set it up to do monthly airdrops or quarterly airdrops. There's a lot of different ways. Once we lower taxes where we want and do different things, there's a couple different ways that we can bring value to the investors and bring direct funding things to the investors other than just doing buyback and burns. So those are things that as those start to develop, we will work on and find the best way or kind of a multi way to come at it from different angles.
Right. I like that. So coming down your roadmap here, it seems like you got a pretty good start to your roadmap here. You're about halfway down. Could you speak on what you've done to date so far through your roadmap and what you're looking to achieve very next on your roadmap?
For sure. So on our roadmap, we've accomplished quite a few different things. Our NFTs and us coming to market. A lot of those different things. If you look at our white paper, you can see the ones that we've marked and accomplished. But most notably, we have our nice UI, nice polished looking version of Novation. It's smooth. It works not just on Cellus, but we also have a cross-chain, a one-click cross-chain solution to it for a few different EVM chains. There's a couple chains that we're working with to be the DEX on their chain. And we're going to bring that one-click cross-chain solution with us. So we will be not only the one DEX that all the operations go through on that chain, but also you could say the toll booth to the on-ramp and off-ramp from that chain to other chains and back and forth. So we're working on a lot of that behind the scenes. There's not those groups that we're working with have not been publicly disclosed yet, but they will be announced. I will say that they are big groups with a lot of holders, big companies with a lot of holders. So obviously you can imagine through cross-pollination what that looks like. But we plan on expanding those chains, doing more chains and incorporating in Bitcoin and some of the other chains in there. Right now it has an aggregator piece to it. So pretty much you put what you have, what you want, and it finds the best and cheapest route to go from point A to point B. So it's a great win for Novation. It's great for the investors because it finds the most efficient way to do it. People are saving money on fees, transferring. So that's been really good as well. We also have a on-chain one to help kind of maximize the efficiency of doing business on the Binance chain. You can trade any project in the Binance, in the BSC on there. So that's pretty cool as well too. So we have that with Novation. We're starting to list liquidity of different projects. There's a couple big ones that we're onboarding. Obviously they're having to posture themselves properly, and in this environment, this financial environment, it's not so easy to just go, oh, I'm just going to throw liquidity over there and there you go. I mean, liquidity is money. That's money that's sitting in your wallet. So you have to be real careful with how much and what's the right amount, and you have to be really prudent with your funds as well too. So we're helping projects do that, some really big ones. And then Launchpad, we've brought a few projects to market. Some of the big ones that are in our neighborhood that are going to make a big splash are deciding to launch with us. So those are big wins as well too. This is a really difficult market in the first place to come to market in, but regardless where you're at in the cycle of finances, you have to bring it. You come to market when you come to market, and you have to bring it anyway. So that's Novation. Now there's something that we have coming called Novation Pulse. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the AmDeFi, the Oceans, these Ponzi clicker, Ponzi scheme kind of things out there that offer you crazy, returns, daily compounded returns. Well, what we actually did is this is something I did in the background with stocks and stock options, and I brought together some of the great minds of our neighborhood, some of the great dev minds of our neighborhood, to build some trading bots. And we actually have 4 different bots. And it's our intention, and through this, we're actually optimizing them right now. We're actually using my own personal funds to do this. So, it's that's how much faith I have in how this is how this is playing out and how this is working. But it's going to be able to create a predictable range of daily compounded uh, interest on whatever money you have on the platform. So I'm even making deals in the background with centralized exchanges to have a market maker type of setup for bringing liquidity there, so that it zeroes out the fees, maybe, and in some cases even negative fees. So they actually pay you to front run and be handling trading on there. So we're trying to make this a great opportunity for investors. I wanted to separate out an investor from a trader. We have people that are trading in our market with tokens right now, and they're hurting quality projects because they're trying to make money. And that's what we're all here for in the first place, anyways. But I wanted to have a place where people can trade and make money. And as they make money, then they can go to the investing side and they can actually invest in the quality projects that they see value in and long term hold those. So by doing that, that's, in my opinion, a cleaner system. That's a better way to do business in this space. And so I want, and people who know me and through our project know that I find a lot of different ways for you to, I guess, have a lot of options in how your investment strategies play out. So Pulse is going to be a great opportunity to earn anywhere from 0.5 to just today, even it was 6%. Now I can't promise 6% every day, but the thing is that today, because of the volatility, our bots were able to kick butt. So the point is that there's going to be great daily compounded returns, and if you've ever played with a chart or a calculator, that can add up pretty quick. We're going to back the platform, working with Shield Coin to ensure the platform against loss. And on top of that, businesses, different projects that have liquidity listed with us will be able to bring their marketing wallets or whatever wallets with the blessing of their community and insure it, and then place it on there and trade it as well. And that way you have your money making money. It's a good idea to have your marketing wallet not just sit there like it's in a checking account, but you want it to be building and making money, right? That's just finances and checking and savings accounts 101. So What we're creating here is a safe way for that to occur. We're building out the front end of the platform. We're optimizing the bots on the backside. So we think it's going to be a real big win for everybody involved, and it's going to be safe and come from quality, a quality company that's here in transparency, trying to do things right for investors. And then we have Syfter, which is an app. We're still playing it real close. We haven't told anyone about Syfter yet. But it is going to be a beautiful thing. Believe it or not, if all the things I've talked about yet are not big and wild to you, this is actually bigger than all of those put together. So Syfter has been a major work in progress, and we are going to have it be a polished app from the very start, straight from the jump, because that's how big of a deal it is that we can't have it be an MVP. It's going to have to be a finished product because this thing's going to take off right off the bat. We've aligned with many ambassadors, many of the big name ambassadors in our neighborhood, your Todd Hart, Travlad, Caesar, Darcy Donovan, Squid Grow Joe, some of these different guys who want to be a part of what we're doing because they see the value in it. And so they will play a very integral part in making sure that the investors see these products as they come to market and, can help spread our brand as we grow. So those are the public things that we have going on. Now, behind the scenes, there's two other platforms, two other things. There are actually three other things that we're working on that people don't even know about. One of them I've been open about speaking about. We're making a next generation debit card. It's pretty much going to spank any of the other debit cards out there. It's as simple as that. I'm willing to put money on it and go to bat against anyone who wants to say otherwise. We're actually working with Reflecto on it. If you know Vlad or Zell, these guys are monster devs. You add in our dev too, and it's over with. These guys are just next level with what they do. So we have a very interesting debit card that it's going to be a no-brainer for people to be involved with, really, and people in this space are going to love it. Who we're working with, we're able to get a 9-month exclusivity agreement, so nobody else in Binance will be able to even touch our stuff, even take a sniff and try to mimic it. It's so far beyond. So what we've been doing is just allowed everyone to come out with their debit cards. If you're not on the project side, you really don't know how much debit cards are, but they're not cheap to come out with. I mean, you're looking at 50 to 100,000 just to come out with these debit cards. So we let them come out with it. We let them spend their load, spend their money, and then we're going to come out and just clean up. So it's a really big thing that we're doing. It's important to me that we have a full ecosystem of decentralized on-ramping so that you can go from credit card, debit card directly to your crypto, which we're building out. You have Novation and Pulse, so you do your trading, you make your money, and then there needs to be ways for you to off ramp. How do I take this crypto and now use it out in the real world? So we're working with people who are doing that, who are creating those bridges. So you have Zonimus. ZA is fantastic. They're utilizing essentially spot on point debit card, or excuse me, gift cards that can immediately buy products online based on where you are in the world. We're talking about being able to buy your prescription at Walgreens with it, even with your crypto. So that's a really great thing. That creates a real world use right off the bat. Our debit card, same thing. You can liquefy crypto and buy whatever. It's Visa, so it's everywhere Visa is accepted. And then the third off ramp that we're working with is a it's another method for being able to, again, use your funds out in the world, no problem. So all of these different things help to kind of create the cycle of bringing your money on, investing, and then using it for what you want to use it for in life. And we're working with PIN, who is also going worldwide with working with merchants to be able to do this and get crypto accepted uh, everywhere. So, that's kind of, I'm sure I've missed some of the different things we're doing. We did an AMA just last week where I talked for 2.5 hours of everything that we're doing and rolling out. So there's a lot going on with Vault Finance, and we are right on the precipice of just blowing up.
Thanks for that, Chris. That's actually pretty exciting. A lot going on for sure. A lot in work. So rolling back to your Novation Plus, you said there will be 4 bots. What does it differentiate between those 4 bots? Will they have different functions between those 4?
Yeah, I found that there's having a approach that comes from different angles makes a lot of sense. So for Pulse, one of the bots is going to trade what I want it to trade, and that's going to be based on trends in my own watching of volatility. One of them will be an arbitrage bot, which, if you're not familiar with arbitrage, essentially it looks for mismatches in liquidity. So, you see Shiba at a cheap price somewhere, you see it somewhere else more expensive. It runs in, buys a bunch of it at the cheaper price, then goes over and sells it at the more expensive place. So essentially a bot that is smart enough to do that and look for opportunities that have a big enough gap to them. One penny might not make sense, but let's say 30 cents might make sense. So it looks for something that meets the thresholds that we set to it. And then the other 2 bots are actually futures trading bots. They trade on futures, which is a speculative thing, but one of the safer ways to trade that is using straddles. So essentially you're playing, let's say something volatile is what you want. So let's say BNB. The reason why we hit 6% today was BNB was very volatile. So you buy a position and for it saying, well, BNB is going to go up. You buy a position saying BNB is going to go down. And as the volatility kicks in and it picks a direction, you start selling out of the opposite direction. And so you follow that till you reach a certain threshold of it kicking back on you, and you get out of the position. So it create, obviously you want to focus that around tokens that have a lot of volatility. And obviously today BNB is very volatile. So that's essentially how those work. They're made to be safer than actually creating a ton of profit. And the reason why is because we want to do safety first. Obviously you can create a higher percentage return if you take on more risk, but you really want to find that level that there's low risk and you're able to kind of maximize the return for low to no risk type of investments.
Okay, so when can we expect the Novation Pulse bots, and will you be implementing like a certain amount of holdings, like a minimum holdings, to be able to use these bots?
Yeah, so we're looking at probably right around mid-January. I'm going to hold a pre-sale, and it's going to be an open pre-sale. Pretty much, I'll set the soft cap at $100. I'll set the hard cap at $3 million. My expectation is that we're going to raise close to about $2 million. From our neighborhood, it'll be right around $1 million. And then we have 2 or 3 businesses that may incorporate another 200,000. And then there's private investors or investment groups that want to put their money there for when they're not actively, I guess they want to put their liquid money there for when they're not actively in a position. So we should see in the range of around 2 million. I could be surprised and it could be more. But I think that is a very solid beginning spot. We'll have the accounts created, and then within 2 weeks, we'll actually launch publicly, so people can then actually start logging in and using it, and going from there.
That's awesome, Chris. Now, coming down to you were talking about your debit card that Vault Finance is looking to come out with. How will that tie back into Vault as far as taxes? Will it be obviously a taxed debit card?
Yeah, there's fees and everything associated with using the debit card, but the way we're structuring it is to create an incentive for people to be able to. It's obvious it's going to turn into a stable coin, because that's the best way to put money towards a debit card as it is. But it's essentially going to be something that's going to be easy to use. As far as Vault Finance token goes, you don't have to use Vault Finance token. Again, we want this to be accessible for the masses, and the third person who's in that partnership is Owners Unity. And if you don't know them, they are bringing really great real world utility. They're working with energy providers. They're doing, pay your rent and all that stuff type of systems, and using Owners Unity. So their token, and we're going to get to pre-sale them and bring them to market as well too. So they bring a lot of use case and a lot of users right off the bat to this system.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, actually, I think maybe three. I think it's two AMAs we had with Owners Unity. Great guys over there for sure, Chris. Now coming down to your Novation Launchpad, could you walk me through the process of what it takes to get listed and use your Launchpad?
Yeah, so our Launchpad and our exchange are not made so that everybody who wants to, any person walking in, can pre-sale or create a coin or just list liquidity. We did that purposefully because I don't want any person who just wants to be able to get on those platforms. We want to create a safe place. We want Novation to stand for something. And so when it comes to either or Launchpad or exchange, I take it pretty seriously, and I make sure our core team does as well too. So if you want to come to market, let's say using the Launchpad as an example, um, first person you're going to talk to after you talk to our scout or someone else on our core team is you get passed directly to me, and I fire up the grill and I put you on the grill. And we talk about I have a phone call with the core team, and we talk about what they're trying to do, how they're trying to pre-sale, what their intentions are coming to market, what they intend on coming out with. And their products don't have to necessarily fall in line with what I personally believe is valuable or not valuable, but they do have to do something that brings value to our space. If they bring no value to our space, and they're just merely a play off of hype or off of a random bit of fun, I will not include them on Novation to bring us to market or list them on our exchange. So they need to come with value, and they need to come again with clean hands and in good faith. And by doing that, that means KYC, that means communication with us, communication with their community, having a legitimate organic community, doxing themselves properly, and all of these different types of higher end executive company structure type of things before I even pass it to Matt, our stud dev, who then tears apart their contract and makes sure that there's no funny business, looks at their audits, and makes sure that there's compatibility as well with our platforms. And so once all of those things are met, then we whitelist you, and we will allow you to do a pre-sale on our Launchpad. Or if you're going to list on our exchange, whitelist your owner's wallet so that you can place liquidity on our exchange. So, it's a process, it's a vetting process, but it's very necessary because, I love our investors. I love this space. We stand for transparency. And I make sure that potential projects that list with us not only understand that, but that they hold to that same code as well.
Exactly, especially in these times too. You can never be too careful. A lot of scam tokens out there trying to come out anywhere they can to pry on the weak, right? So I can appreciate you going through your vigorous vetting process there, Chris. So coming back to your Novation Pulse, I see you'll have the Vault Circle and the Vault Exchange. Could you go in depth on those two?
Yeah. So further down our roadmap, you'll see Vault Circle, which is a communications platform. Essentially, right now we use Telegram to the best of our ability. We use Discord to the best of our ability. But the thing is they're all square pegs in a round hole. They're not made for crypto. They're not made for the things that we're doing. They're not made for the ways we're trying to communicate to the masses or grow our businesses. And so what we wanted to do with Vault Circle is create a platform where a project or a budding, newly startup business can set up shop, set up base camp, and have the other socials be easily accessible, and that they can grow a community, communicate to that community in a very easy manner, but also create safety. Right now in Telegram, we've got bots galore, we've got scam artists, we've got all of these different things. You're constantly looking over your shoulder, hoping you don't get stabbed in the back. Even when you're doing business with legitimate people, you're still looking over your shoulder, making sure you don't get stabbed in the back. And we need to create a safer space. We need to create a more efficient space as we move forward, as we're in this this second .com era, you can almost say, of crypto. We need to create efficiencies, we need to create safety, we need to find ways to, because crypto is going to be around, so we need to create these platforms that can do these things and meet our needs. So we feel that Vault Circle is going to be able to be that. Obviously, there's influencers and different people who, when they speak, people listen. When they stand in the spotlight, people listen to what they have to say. Even this lounge is a great place to have an AMA and share with a quality group of organic people what you're doing with your company. And so it would be a beautiful thing that there's a section on that platform where, if you got 5 minutes, you have 10 minutes, you're just sitting around playing on your Telegram or Twitter or whatever, you can pop right over and see which AMAs are going on right now as we speak, or which influencers are holding little spaces right now as we speak. And you can pop right into the room if one interests you, listen a little bit, pop out, jump into another one, and you can see who's featured, who's not. There's all sorts of different ways. So we're connecting people not just to projects, but we're connecting people to information outlets and opinion resources, you can say, and analysis on those outlets. So Vault Circle, we think, is a very valuable thing. Some might say, well, hey, why didn't you come out with that first? Well, hey, we're strategists here. We're playing chess, not checkers, at Vault Finance. So it's not easy to adopt a platform like that and get everybody on it when you're just trying to come to market yourself. So me being a businessman my whole life, I'm smart enough to understand that, you pick the low hanging fruit first. And then we crescendo our way into these utilities that require more adoption. So it's further down in our roadmap because our DEX is a easily adoptable thing. That's the only way you can buy Vault Finance right now. So of course you have no choice. You go there or you don't get Vault Finance. Also the Launchpad, same thing. It's a great value proposition for investors and projects. And then when you move past that, we incorporate in Novation Pulse, which is a great place for traders who want to be traders versus investors who want to be investors. And so you start seeing not just the value of Vault Finance begin to shine, but you start seeing the utilities play their roles in that as well too. Then we come out with Syfter, which I'm going to go blank, 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 blank on Syfter, but you'll see exactly why that one is the next one. And it actually will help the adoption of Novation as well and Vault Finance. So, and it will take us outside of Binance, outside of our neighborhood, outside of crypto, and legitimize us as a real world brand. So that's kind of the next crescendo step. Then after that, after we are big for our neighborhood and people see the quality of our products, and we have the ambassadors aligned with us, and the investors know that they can depend on us, and the projects know they can depend on us and do business with us, quality business with us, then is when you see something like Vault Circle become an easily adoptable thing, because it's the next product in line and it oozes with value and quality, and we can leverage then our ambassadors, our investors, our fellow partnership businesses onto that platform. And so, it's a crescendo of how you build out in your brand. And so after Vault Circle, there's Vault Exchange. And Vault Exchange is a really great thing because it's going to be a place where people can trade not just goods between each other across the world, but also do business and services. And services are very important because services take on many forms. Right now, again, I get hit up 300 times a day through DM of people wanting to shill for us, wanting to make stickers, do this, do that, even AMA propositions. Well, how do I know legitimate people from illegitimate people? How am I able to do business with someone when I have the fiduciary duty to make sure that I do business with the right people and I don't lose investors' funds? Well, this is going to be a place on the services side where a project can put their best foot forward, as well as people who supply services to projects to put their best foot forward. And that way they can meet in a safe way. Now, when I say this, think of the part pieces that add up to that. What do you kind of hear in between the lines? Do you hear peer-to-peer? Well, our friends at Nano Network are working on peer-to-peer, correct? And that's in collaboration with us. There's something behind the scenes that we're looking to work on with Certec, and we're in business with Revival of Avalanche and Owners Unity with that will help create security and safety. So that's another piece of the puzzle. So you see, again, these are chess moves that look like they're independent of each other. But again, it all comes together to create the bigger brand and the bigger utilities and the adoption of those down the road. So along with being able to trade goods and services, there is a portion that is a above 18 adults only section that is like a crypto OnlyFans, you can say. That's for those that want to partake. But again, there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do those types of things. And so when the time comes, we'll make sure that we have ourselves postured legally and in the best and tasteful manner possible. That way, that business is done correctly.
Vault OnlyFans. That's quite interesting, Chris. I like that. So rolling back to the beginning of that, how you'll have attributes of eBay, Craigslist, and Facebook Marketplace for, like you were saying, peer-to-peer exchanges. What type of goods would you be able to trade on that?
Well, obviously legal goods. We don't want people trading drugs or shipping each other, cartel money or anything like that. So, as that starts to roll out, we're going to have to come to the drawing table and make sure that we have legitimate ways of doing this. But, by that point, when we roll that out and we start to build that, I anticipate that we're going to have a pretty big brand in this space. And so at that point, our partnerships, and I'm already starting to build these partnerships right now, but there's big businesses, big multi-million, multi-billion dollar businesses right now that are looking to convert from Web 2 to have a presence in the Web 3 space. And they reach out to certain experts to help them have a presence in that Web 3 space. Well, I'm connecting with these experts and also at the same time trying to become one of those experts myself, because obviously when you have a hand in helping these companies come across from Web 2 and have a presence in the Web 3 space, that helps you rub shoulders with them, that helps you be able to create marketplace agreements and things like that. So not only will this be able to be a peer-to-peer type of marketplace, but I anticipate when we reach that point and as we grow our brand to that point, I'll be able to execute some deals with these companies so we can utilize our platform, in that type of way and create some deals or exclusives for people in our space.
That's very interesting. I actually look very forward to seeing how you guys implement all that and checking out the platform and kind of seeing how it is and maybe even using it. It seems very interesting. So, Chris, rolling down to or coming back rather to your Diamond Hands heist. I know we spoke on it very early on, but could you go in depth on what the Diamond heist is, and also could later investors still benefit from this?
Sure. So our initial Diamond Hands heist for those 10% of our total supply, those 100 trillion tokens, that already actually ended. That already ended right before Thanksgiving. So, and for those of you that I guess aren't in the U.S. and do Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, they're towards the end of November. So when that happened and that distribution happened and we gave out to the Diamond Hands who hadn't sold not one token throughout that whole time. It was almost $500,000 worth of tokens that ended up being distributed. People at that point up to that point qualified for the second Diamond Hands heist, which will happen at 120 days after launch. So two more months after they're towards the end of November, and that's for the rewards. So again, those people who are participating in that, and again, not selling even one token, will get a disbursement of that based on their holdings. So you can add to your bag, which will add to your proportion of what you get. But you sell one token and you're out. So even if there's one person left, they will get the whole bag themselves, all those juicy BUSD rewards.
That's quite substantial. All right, so coming back to your speaking on your NFTs, rather, I don't think we touched on that yet at all. I know you have NFTs in the works. How will you be tying that back into Vault Finance?
Yeah, so we have a couple different NFTs, and I always preface every time I talk about NFTs by telling people that I don't like NFTs. And the way that people utilize them or have utilized them as being a pretty picture and calling them value, I don't believe in that. So you'll find that whenever Vault Finance rolls out an NFT, I can 100% promise you I have put hours of labor into crunching the numbers to make sure that I put value incentives in there that will make you money on your NFT, period. That's not financial advice. That is a proven fact. So you start off with our pre-sale NFTs. We had Diamond NFTs, which were a staking NFT. It actually got you into a private staking pool at Brew Labs where it averaged closer to about 18, 19% versus the public pool, which was around 9%. The public pool ended. Some of our investors didn't realize that the private pool actually went on for a year. So you actually will continue to gain by holding and staking with that Diamond NFT. That diamond NFT cost at that time $350. So imagine being able to stake in that private pool for that amount of time, get those kind of returns, more than get your money back off of that. The other one was a VIP, which the VIP pre-sale one was one that got you into a private room to be able to beta test, to be able to get kind of information on what's going on the inner workings of the company. You schmooze a little bit with the core team. I'm pretty sure some of the ones in those rooms have seen pictures of Ross and Mason's face superimposed on just about any picture, which which is crazy. They have a good time in that room, but there's also a lot of value to it too. They were able to get the Launchpad NFTs cheaper. They're able to get involved with Pulse at a great opportunity. So I create a lot of value incentives for them for being a part of that NFT group. And then there was another one for a 100% rebate on your buy tax. So, those pre-sale ones, we did a certain amount. A lot of people are like, hey, when are you going to do more? I told people from the very beginning that I would be very prudent in releasing those because I wanted to maintain their value, maybe even their value increase with Vault Finance's value increasing by keeping them scarce. So right now they're tradable, and you can only get one by buying it off of someone else. And as our holder count grows, I intend on releasing a few more, but I plan on keeping them in short supply because they are special. With that, we also have the Launchpad NFTs. Those people get access to pre-sales on our Launchpad, as well as they get to split evenly between them half of the revenue that's produced from the Launchpad itself. So again, that's a value proposition that before you even take into consideration a pre-sale and making money off of getting involved with a launching project, it will pay for itself. You also get half of the price you pay rebated back to you in Vault Finance tokens. So it's even like you're paying half price, half for the tokens and then half for the NFT. And then with crypto rejects, what we were talking about and just released today was that the crypto rejects NFTs are going to have staking as one of their utilities. And this staking is actually going to be, the rewards in it are going to be in Vault Finance tokens. So imagine you getting, let's say, 10 of these crypto reject NFTs, and you stake all of them, and you're getting a 10 times multiplier on Vault Finance tokens that are just going to be coming to you for having those staked. And that's before you take into consideration any of the other utility that they're doing with these NFTs. So in my opinion, it's a great value. I can't tell people what to do with their money, but I can definitely tell you that if you crunch the numbers and if you're bullish on the things that I'm talking about that Vault Finance is going to be rolling out here very soon, staking is not based on price of the token. Staking is based on how the tokens, the rate that the tokens are distributed, or that the rewards are given. So it doesn't matter whether the Vault Finance token is worth 1 penny or $100. If it gives you, let's say, 1 token a day, you're getting 1 token a day, no matter what it's worth. So just all I can say is imagine where you think the price of Vault Finance will be, and then imagine if you had these multiple streams and multipliers of staking of tokens coming your way, and what that value could look like. So that's kind of our NFTs, what we have going on. There's one that we have not released yet. It is the Franklin the Pigeon NFT collection. We have shown people some of the pictures of them. Franklin's a really interesting story. He's my wingman. So and he's become part of my family essentially. And he's angry. He's outside the door slamming into the door right now because he wants to come in here and make a bunch of racket for you guys. But we're actually setting it up to where each of these NFTs it's going to be an exclusive, just 1,000 NFT collection. There'll be one BNB each. Half of the BNB will go directly to rebating and Vault Finance tokens minus tax. So it'll go directly as a buy on the chart, essentially. And the other half is going to be collected and go towards the Rogers Wildlife Rehabilitation, which is the best bird wildlife rescue here in the DFW area and in the southern United States. And so, through me helping Franklin with the broken leg and broken wing, and his, popularity with our community, he's going to be able to pay it forward and help some of these other birds that are trying to be rehabilitated. So it's a nice little philanthropy piece, and Franklin's become our unofficial mascot.
That's very interesting. So, Chris, you said the to date current NFTs were handed out, right? There's no place to mint those currently. And then with your upcoming ones, you'll have a 1 BNB mint for that as well. And then you said this is only tradable between peer-to-peer, right? Or holder-to-holder in a sense. So there is no place to sell it as well, on other NFT exchanges, or will it be able to be traded, sold, and bought on your NFT platform?
Well, right now we're using the Renegade DeFi NFT marketplace. I think we're, besides RMC's NFTs on there, I think we're the ones with NFTs on there, and I'm okay with that because it's a good enough platform. It does the job we need. It's simple. Our investors have no issues using it, and it's better for me to utilize a platform than to try to fist fight every other project who has one of these platforms. But yeah, as far as minting, that's where they can be minted, sold. They can be traded between each other. I don't know too much about NFTs and you posting them up on OpenSea or this or that, but they can be traded. They're not locked to your wallet.
Okay, so not being locked to your wallet, does that mean that there would be a no transfer tax as well from wallet to wallet?
There is not. I know with a lot of NFTs now, people are trying to do kind of a legacy effect where every time it trades, a person gets taxed on it. We're not doing that. Like I said, it's a straight up value proposition for the investors with the NFTs.
All right. I think we pretty much hit everything here, Chris. Is there anything else that we've missed, brother?
I think we covered. We covered a lot of different things. I think we covered everything. Like I said, we have so many things going on here at Vault Finance. We're also in the acquisition stage of a other project that's well known in our neighborhood. If you're part of it, you probably would know what I'm talking about. But we have probably about 1,000 holders. This alone will probably put us at about 5,000 holders. And it's a great opportunity for us to not just grow our investor base, but to consolidate liquidity with us, their liquidity with us, but also a good opportunity for those investors to come in at a great time where a bunch of value is about to start hitting the chart for Vault Finance. So I guess that's one thing we haven't talked about. Obviously, there's only so much I can say other than something like that is happening. But January is going to be a very happening month, a real spicy month for Vault Finance.
Looking forward to the progress, brother. As I'm always staying up to date with you as we talk in DMs here and there. Definitely looking forward to everything coming up in the future. If there's nothing else to talk about, Chris, I would like to turn it over to the community for some community questions.
For sure, absolutely.
All right. With that being said, I'd like to encourage anybody who'd like to ask their questions on voice. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask. If not, Seattle has caught a couple of good questions for me to read off. All right. Let me start here. If anybody wants to jump in, please feel free to do so. First question is coming from Logitech regarding the crypto and debit card. Does that apply to the USA as well? And is it within the SEC regulations for USA?
Yeah, one of the beautiful things about the debit cards is that you can either go about it 100% on your own, which means you have to go to every country and pretty much get the banking right with them and stuff, or uh, and you take on the liability as well and the reporting liabilities, all of that. Or you work with a company that is essentially a distributor, and what they're starting to do is they're starting to see crypto as being the future. They are starting to be able to let you bring your tech to their debit system, and pretty much they handle the liability and the legal side and the banking side, all of that. And so the company we're working with is actually based out of the United States. And the United States has a very stringent set of rules. So they get to be the buffer between us and them. They're kind of the conduit that we're working through to do that. So they handle the liability side. They handle making this work throughout the different countries in the world. A majority of countries are covered, but quite a few of the African countries, North Korea, some of these different places are not covered. And that's just, again, that's not something that I get to dictate. That's something that they handle because they handle all the paperwork and red tape on their end. So it gives us the ability to not be cuffed. It gives us the ability to not be kind of under the, in the fire. That's their job. They handle that side. We handle the tech and growing out the debit card side.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Chris. Next question is rolling in from Jane Lillian. Says, I think it would be quite amazing if you consider adding another benefit to the diamond hand heist, such as giving early investors the ability to get a random exclusive whitelist spot for projects who use your Launchpad in the future. What do you think about this? Will you consider adding this, or do you think this would entice investors to be part of early holders?
Well, that's kind of the role of what you described is essentially what our Launchpad NFTs are doing. But the diamond NFT right now is useful because people that are in the private staking pool are able to still stake. The public pool, I guess I need to re-emphasize an announcement that if you are still staked in the public pool, you need to get out of the pool. The pool's over with. We need to cut it off and then draw those remaining tokens, and then we will restart a public pool. But we need those people. We need you to get off the pool because there's nothing being gained from it. So we will re-up that. I wanted to originally utilize our staking opportunities and the people who wanted to stake as a way to consummate a new partnership with someone else. Just kind of the nice little ending to that. But it is possible we could end up staying with Brew Labs. So with that being said, we're still navigating that part. But with the diamond NFT, that's what that refers to, is staking in that private pool. So that will stay where that's at. But it was brought to my attention that the pre-sale NFT, the elite one, which gives you a zero buy tax, essentially. You get reimbursed those tokens that you got hit with. As I lower taxes, that NFT becomes less and less valuable because the taxes are lower. So there's less gain in those reimbursements. And that I do see as being a diminishing value. And so because of that, I will come up with a creative way to add value to that NFT, because that the people who brought that to my attention are absolutely right. And as we lower tax, it will diminish that value. And I'm all about value. And so I will make sure that I make that value up to those people that are holding it.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Chris, second question here from Jane Lillian is if Vault Finance grows bigger, it will be amazing if the Vault Launchpad explores into having a multi-chain launchpad where projects of other chains will be able to be launched on your pad. Is this possible? And will you be implementing it possibly down the line?
Yeah, well, to the first part of that question, yes, Vault Finance will grow bigger. That's that's my full intention, and believe me, we're gonna execute that. To the other part with the Launchpad, yes, it would require us doing a complete upgrade to our current Launchpad. You're seeing quite a few projects right now jump off of Binance and kind of try to go to where they think the grass might be greener. Go to ETH, or right now it's the sexy thing to make your own blockchain for some reason. But it benefits us to make that Launchpad multi-chain. And so that is something we will pursue. It's not on my highest list of things, because when I prioritize our utilities and when I prioritize these different initiatives and upgrades and stuff, I'm an ROI guy. I'm all about return on investment. I'm a math guy. I'm a business guy. That's just the way my brain works. So I'm more apt to put our time and energy up front into something that's going to yield us more revenue versus something that might not. Obviously, I view our Launchpad as being an accessory to our exchange. So because ultimately the money is made on the exchange. The Launchpad is nice. That money can be made on that. We're not going to turn it into a pink sale and list everybody who wants to be, have a pre-sale, because we have to have a vetting element to it. So by definition, not every person can do a pre-sale with us, but so it probably won't be a super, super high volume kind of thing, but it does benefit to be multi-chain, because as we continue to grow Novation out onto these other blockchains and other projects, and we become the main DEX on that blockchain, projects that come to market on that blockchain, it would be real nice if they could launch with us and then list on the portion of the DEX that we represent on that blockchain. So you're absolutely right. There's money to be had there. There's definitely revenue to capture. But in the big scheme of things, it's not priority 1, 2, or 3, because we have major cash cows we're bringing to market right now. And I have Matt running around in circles. The guy is a stud. But I add him to. We joke around saying that I add him to 3 new rooms every day. That's how busy I keep the poor guy. So we're going to upgrade. We're going to not upgrade, but we're going to expand our dev team here soon. That way, Matt can be captain of a bigger team, and we can roll out some of these different things, more things at once. Because as you can tell from our AMA, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving pieces, but we will go the multi-chain route with that, and also start implementing that into the exchange and the one-click cross-chain. All of those pieces work together.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. As we all know, in these bear times, it's the building time, right? So it looks like you're taking all the right steps there, Chris, to building a solid foundation to help the future project there of everything you have coming down the line. Still speaking on your Launchpad here, from Glock 45. His question is, have you guys have any issues with the projects that you've worked with, and have they had to cancel on you and maybe go to a different Launchpad to raise more money? If yes, how did you solve this issue, as it's a common issue with a smaller Launchpad?
Well, that's a complicated one, because I think different people are going to have different opinions on why different things happen. There are a couple of there are a couple of launches that we have that have not hit hard cap. There are some that are quote unquote failed and didn't hit soft cap. Now, of course, the public uh, thought is going to be different than what goes on behind the scenes between the core teams. So what I can say is that although we are by definition a smaller launchpad, we are becoming a bigger name, and we are launching the big boys that are coming to market in our neighborhood. I think Pink Sale is going to go out the window, and I think a collaborative type of mentality between these launch pads, because everybody and their mom's coming out with a launch pad. I mean, let's just be real. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody with a launch pad. And so, because of that, it's really diluting our space. And there's not and this market is not an easy place right now to come to market in. So all of those things, project leads are not doing themselves or other projects any favors right now. And they're definitely not doing the investors any favors. So the way, in my opinion, that we work past that is by working together. I have a community that's really stout and strong. Another project, let's take, for example, Apollo. They have a launch pad. They have a community that's strong. And so and so and so and so may have ones that are strong. We may see, and I foresee we will see projects decide to split their amount they're trying to raise between multiple launch pads and go on a road show and pretty much be put on a pedestal in front of each of these communities to help kind of have the opportunity to gain some from each of those communities, and it be more of a easier to bite uh, hard cap or amount you're trying to raise. As far as ones that have failed on our platform, some of the ones at first did not do enough marketing. I don't hold a gun to these projects' heads and force them to do certain things they don't want to do. It's their project, but I do have recommendations and I do have resources to help them do well. We raised over $500,000 total with our project on a completely brand spanking new uh, launch pad. So it can be done. We're proof in the pudding of that. But if you don't market properly, you're going to have problems. If you don't have just real world make sense utility that can translate into revenue, then you might not be able to do it. And those are not things that I can fix for you as Vault Finance or as Novation or as Chris, the CEO. These are things that are, you have to fix in your own company and just come to market with something that just is smarter, more efficient. That's just how it goes. So we had some fail because of that. The most recent is Master Key. Master Key is a quality project. We are going to partner with these guys. They are going to be monsters because I know some of what's going on behind the scenes. But they wanted to raise 800 BNB, which is a lot for this space right now. It's a big ask, and they're in bed with the right people, and they also have the right ambassadors. But it's still a very big ask. But one of the things that happens when these types of things happen is we have a discussion behind the scenes. Is like, okay, well, this is the feedback I have of why we might have not hit the hard cap. Here's feedback on this and that. And these projects are not done. They don't go, oh, well, I didn't hit it, so I guess it's over. Or, oh, I'll go somewhere else. They make the adjustments necessary and they get after it. And that's really what it comes down to.
100%. Thanks for that, Chris. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Next question rolling in from DeFi Ape Talk here is about your burn. Is it an automatic or manual burn? And if it is a manual, will this be randomly decided by the team, or will the community have a say on when they could possibly see a manual burn?
Yeah, so right now, our buyback and burn mechanism is manual. We pick and choose when we want to do it. It is more random than anything. We do want to do these burns in line with our Unlock the Vault events so that we can do a distribution of tokens, or excuse me, distribution of BUSD, and then do a burn. It's everybody loves a burn party. But because we haven't been having that Unlock the Vault event, because we've been building up that nest egg, we have been doing the burns just randomly, and right now, well, I guess we do something that's a true burn, and that's the sexy word that some of the other projects are calling it, like if it's something special. Pretty much, we're not taking the tokens and just putting them to a burn wallet, some stricken, wallet. We're actually taking these tokens and removing them from the supply. So some people are calling that a true burn. They're claiming to have invented it. This is something Matt's been doing since the beginning of time. So it's something that we do with ours because it moves it from supply, and it's completely gone just like that. So that's kind of the difference in our burns and how we're managing them right now.
Absolutely. I think we've actually, Matt, I believe he came in with, I think it was DAR token with that first innovative true burn, as they called it, right? So that's a very interesting concept there. Hey, Mark. Yeah. Hold on, Mark. We'll take questions in just a little bit here, brother. So next question also from DeFi Ape here is, as nobody can guarantee the security of a smart contract, but audits play an important role to find out the known bugs of a smart contract. Can you tell us how strong your security is and what audits you have established?
Yeah, so when we're first coming to market, we had a couple different teams working together in collaboration to build our sell list contracts, and it's not an easy ask. Building sell lists is not. I believe me, I made it sound simple, but it's not something that everybody can do. Otherwise, they would. So it's a tough ask in the first place. And security in this space is of the utmost importance, especially considering some of the things we've seen recently happen. It can end you just like that. So we're really sensitive to safety before anything else. So we've had bounty hackers, renowned bounty hacker. I can't remember his name. I don't ever seem to know his name, but try to penetrate our systems. We've done a lot of our own work on it. As far as audits go, we had a Certec audit originally. They had missed some things. I decided that when we did this second version of our Novation exchange, we went through Versa Finance, so we went through D-Block, who I highly respect, and he also did Squid Grow's contract as well, or not their contract, but their audit as well. So they looked at everything. They went line by line. One of the things that I intend on doing is for us to have a hack-in audit done as well across all of our stuff, all of our platforms, everything. That will be done as well too. That's not in the pipeline yet, as in, we have it scheduled. but I do want to do that. Owners Unity also has a company that they work with for audits. They offered to audit our stuff. I told them sure. So we're going to have an audit done from them as well. They're not a highly well-known name, but the more eyes we have on it, the better. The more recommendations we can get on safety, we'll take them into consideration. Like I said, we plan on being here for a long time. Obviously, as we grow, we become powerhouses. The bad actors are going to come and try to tap into that, and so we have to not only have a good system in place, but we need to continue to work on that system and build that system up so that people can't get past it. And so some of the things we do is we use multi-sig wallets, multi-signature wallets, Gnosis safe multi-signature wallets. They are a pain in the butt. I will be the first to tell you they are a pain. If you've ever used them and you have to sit there, especially when I have to send somebody a $20 winnings for winning our daily little game, and I have to get 3 signatures on it, that is a pain in the butt. But safety is more important than that pain. And so it's important that we have that, because nobody can come in and just siphon off money. And even if one of us, our team are all phenomenal guys, but let's just say somebody goes rogue and decides to do something, or somebody's phone gets somebody's phone gets hacked or something, no one person can cause the fall. We need multiple signatures to do anything when it comes to the business accounts. And so those are all safeguards. We put multiple layers in place to ensure safety. So it would take a major thing to happen for something like that to go by the wayside. And with Pulse and having millions upon tens of millions of dollars running across that platform, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to have quite a bit of third-party audits done on it. We're going to make sure that thing is safe as well, too.
It's awesome. I appreciate that, Chris. And actually, I heard you talk about the game. I was actually rolling through the Telegram earlier, Vault Finance Telegram, and I noticed that you have the Christmas jumper game. What is that? Can you speak on that a bit?
The Christmas jumper game. We one of our mods, number one fan, is he comes out with these really awesome ideas of different games to keep people engaged. And so every day leading up into Christmas is a different game. He pretty much lays out the rules and everything, and the winner wins tokens. And so every day leading up into Christmas, we're doing that. There's going to be a grand prize there at the end as well too. So every day we have something different. There's whether it's a poker tournament or a little gaming thing, or spot the difference, or whatever the case is. We do something fun so that we all get to play together and be engaged in our community.
That's awesome. 24 days of Vault Christmas. I like that. So I also noticed when I was rolling around the Telegram there that you have a sale, a Christmas sale under NFTs. What are those NFTs packaged, and what type of sales can we hope to get?
Yeah, so the Launchpad NFTs, because we're bringing different projects to launch, and and some of them did push back. Like for instance, 8-Bit Earn decided to push back after Christmas and into the new year. I believe Master Key will do the same. It's tough timing right now, but everybody is involved with Christmas and stuff. People are putting their money towards that and their family. So I mean, it right now is a tougher time to launch, but some are doing it, and they're making it happen. Like right now, Nano Network, who by the way is reflecting in Vault Finance token and doing that peer-to-peer piece. They also have a very secure wallet they're making. they are right now pre-sailing right now. So their pre-sale just started today. So, that's an opportunity to have a tertiary way of getting Vault Finance token. But as they push back, as we come into the new year's, these different uh, projects are going to be coming to market, and I felt like now is a great time to give a good deal on those Launchpad NFTs, and you'll be able to get a nice juicy rebate on Vault Finance token because the price is right now. In my opinion, it's ripe for the picking. And also too, to be able to get involved with those passive BUSD rewards that come from revenue with the Launchpad. So as far as what that deal is, you have to DM me for it.
All right. Appreciate that, Chris, and all the information. And that's all the questions we're going to take on text. Now, Mark, did you have a question you'd like to ask on voice? I see you unmuted yourself earlier.
Yes, please. I apologize. I got carried away by the conversation. It was getting interesting and educative. Thank you so much, Mike, for doing this. And thank you, Chris, for joining us. Thank you for building what you do. I'm just excited about the multi-signature wallet idea you talked about. It's like it's the industry standard these days for security. I mean, even if the seed phrase gets compromised or whatever, you're still safe. And you say you have up to 3 wallets, cross-checking the signing the transactions. Is it possible to increase it below above the 3 wallets, or as in, is it possible to increase or decrease the multi-signature devices on the multi-sig wallet, or it's something that is permanent and irreversible? That was my question. And I would also like to ask Chris if, I could DM him so that we could discuss about Vote Finance. Thank you.
Yes. To your second question, I always make myself available for any questions, comments, concerns, opportunities, anything. So always feel free to DM me or the other core team. Always. That is something that I'm constantly harping to make sure that our core team, our mods, everybody is involved with. We're here for you guys and to answer questions. You will never find a time where I will be like, you know what, I'm not going to answer your question. That's not going to come out of my mouth. Now, as far as your first question with the multi-sig wallets, we use Gnosis Safe, which I guess they go by Safe now. But their multi-sig wallet is made to where when you establish the wallet, you can choose how many people are going to be able to have keys to the wallet and how many signatures are going to be required to make a transaction go through. You can remove people from it, you can add people to it, and you can also change the amount of people that have to sign on it. So obviously, if you have 5 people and you require 5 signatures, that might be bad news if somebody dies or something, right? So, it doesn't make sense to require everyone's signature unless maybe it's the liquidity or it's something that's very, very important or a very big wallet or something like that. But our normal daily business accounts, things like that, we have 5 people on there and it requires 3. So it requires a majority to move anything, which means it has to get by everybody to make, or a majority to co-sign that check for something to happen. When you go to, let's say, if we, like right now with our wallets, we have 3 out of 5. Let's say I want to make it 2 out of 5. I could remove someone, but it would take the other ones to co-sign on that person to be removed to remove him. So it's not like I can remove everyone except for me and take the money and run. It requires everybody else's okay to add anyone or to subtract anyone off the wallet or to change how many signatures are required out of how many people are on that wallet. So everything takes a majority, essentially. And again, that's a checks and balances. That's a safety mechanism to ensure that no one person can do something against against the company.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking your time to answer my question. And I love the more or less democratic structure you guys are built and are also building upon. It's inspirational, and I would love to always be a part of this kind of stuff because it's a moon mission, literally. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Mike, for this opportunity.
Yeah, and thank you for that question. That's a good question.
Yeah, appreciate the question there, Mark. All right. Does anybody else want to jump on and ask a question real quick? Please feel free to unmute yourself and do so.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Francis.
Yeah, how you all doing? Um, I've been enjoying the AMA. I love the way Chris is presenting the whole stuff, And I just wanted to ask, about the fees. I sent this message in the group, but I don't know. It seems you can see it, Mike. I wanted to know about the Launchpad fees, right? Will the 100% fees be, charged from the project's native token, or will some percentage be, charged from, like say, BEP based currency like BNB, USD, and all that?
Yeah, so I actually have two different setups. One is 4% of the BNB that they raise, and the other is 2% of the BNB they raise plus 2% of tokens. Now, the tokens, we don't sell the tokens. The people who have the opportunity to do it that way comes down to if they have a reward system. Essentially, what we do is we'll help the project lock up the tokens because we're not going to sell them, so we're going to put them in the vault. But the rewards that come from those tokens can be used towards the NFT or the Launchpad NFT holders. So right now, quite a few of them are just doing 4%, and there you go. But some have had some interest in doing a split between the tokens and the BNB, which is absolutely fine as long as they are a reward token, because that's the only way I can create a benefit out of it. Now, we hold them for a year. We don't sell a single token. We're not pink sale. We're not going to be selling tokens on people. But after a year, we can privately OTC or sell them back the tokens without impacting the chart if they want their tokens back. We've even talked to some of them that they wanted their tokens back sooner, and I'm even open to that. That's not a problem at all. Now, for after a year, if they go, nah, we don't have the liquidity, or I don't want the tokens back, we will airdrop those tokens to the NFT, the Launchpad NFT holders. So either way, we're not going to continue to hold them, but they have the opportunity of buying them back or it becoming a nice benefit to the Launchpad NFT holders.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. You just mentioned something, and I was trying to avoid mentioning that. And it's about pink sale, right? It doesn't make sense when you launch a project and you end up dumping on them. It doesn't make sense. But this your method. It's kind of amazing because the project will have to choose between paying 4%, in BUSD or BNB, or 2% of the token and 2% from BNB or BUSD, which is great. And secondly, I think I saw a question in the chat. I forgot to send a question actually, but I was also interested in knowing if the early adopters of your project, that is the early holders of your project, if you kind of consider giving them a kind of like say whitelist spot, for some projects who use your Launchpad. I think it also encourage people to kind of jump into a project early or something like that.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's what the whole point of the Launchpad NFTs are, is to give people the opportunity to get their hands on whitelist spots. It's not just half the revenue, passive income split between them, but it's the opportunity at those whitelist spots too. And that's something that when a project comes to us to want to launch with us, that's something that I tell them is, hey, I need you to provide spots, set aside spots for the potential people who are going to want to be involved that are NFT holders, period. That's what I need from you. And they're happy to do it because they know we have a great community. They know that these are real organic people that want to get involved in their pre-sale. So they're like, well, yeah, it makes sense. And to your other point with Pink Sale, that's the problem with companies in this space right now, is that they do not act in your best interest, and they do not act in other projects' best interests. And you guys, as the investors, you hold the power. You can burn them to the ground. If people do, if they are not here to bring value to you, then they are wasting your time, they're wasting their space, and they're wasting the air around them. And you guys have the power. I'm really passionate about this because people like Pink Sale who sell your tokens, why in the world would you go do business with them? Just because they're the biggest? They're not going to be the biggest for long if you buck and you don't allow that to happen anymore. And the same thing with Pancake Swap. They cause contract sales, which kill our tax tokens. They skim liquidity off of your tokens. How can you allow that to happen? That liquidity you guys worked hard for, and then you put that into the pre-sale, and then you invested in that project. And Pancake Swap is taking that out of your back pocket. Not right. Can't happen. So, it comes down to you guys, and part of it is education. Part of you guys have to know what's going on. It's your money, you're getting involved. You need to know what's going on, but at the same time, you guys have the power to pick and choose who lives and who dies. That's a very, very powerful thing. So, I brought that up when I spoke at Decentral in Miami when we talked about that. We talked about DeFi and kind of this space, but I want to take the opportunity to harp on that again, because this is really important. We are at a point right now in this space where it's either a dud or it's not. And you guys are the ones that are choosing which duds get to make it, and the dud shouldn't be making it. I think we can all agree that a dud shouldn't be making it. If it's not good, it shouldn't make it. So we have to be able to do our due diligence. We need to be able to understand how to do our due diligence, and we need to pick and choose what's right for us in the short term and the long term. So I just wanted to take the moment to go off track onto that, because that's the reason why we don't do business with Pink Sale, and we want to see them burn to the ground as Vault Finance. And we don't do business with Pancake Swap, and I want to take a big chunk out of the business they do. And I'm going to, because that's what I specialize in. That's what I'm good at. And it all starts with setting things up the way it needs to be done. But ultimately, it comes down to you investors. You guys are the ones that wield all the power. You're the commodity.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Well, you answered so well without wasting any time. I just want to say thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, thank you for those questions. They were good. They're good ones.
Yeah, great questions there, Francis. I appreciate it. Chris, that's all the questions we're going to take from the community tonight, brother, as I appreciate you have a well articulated presentation tonight, brother. As always great to hear from you as well. Now, rolling in, actually, right before that, I'd like to give the you to give the community a 3 to 5 minute pitch as why we should choose Vault Finance.
All right. Well, from one of the most important thing for me, and what really was the call to action to us into this company, and for me to start this company and grow this whole ecosystem, everything we're doing, is this space is the Wild West. This is not a very easy space. And so we want to lead by example. I want my character. I want the character of everyone that's involved with this company, as well as what we stand for with professionalism, transparency, and superior utility, to show investors that we lead from the front, we lead by example, and we get things done. We create tangible results. And so I hope that, our AMA tonight, where we spoke about us launching on our own Launchpad, us listing on our own exchange, the growth that we're seeing across both of those, the expansion we're doing across both of those, as well as the value that we're creating through our NFTs, through our utilities, through our partnerships, all of these different things, and then our utilities that are coming soon with Novation Pulse and Syfter, that all of these are very easy to understand revenue producing things that we will turn around and translate directly into buyback and burn and more value for market capitalization, to grow the value of your investment. That's what this all comes down to. So I want to tell everyone that, our background, I'm actually in healthcare, but I love finance. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've always built things from scratch and taken market share from the market leaders. It's what I do. It's what I love. I'm the dog that goes out and hunts, and I love the hunt. So, every day I'm out pounding the streets on behalf of Alt Finance to grow this thing. It's my baby. All the blood, sweat, and tears go into it. Everyone in my community knows it. They know I'm passionate about it. And they know I get things done and that I'm a man of my word. So with all that being said, I hope you see the value that we're trying to bring with Vault Finance, that we're trying to set a standard. And I hope that at the same time that you're able to do your due diligence and see just the great things that we are just right on the edge of achieving now.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Chris. And like earlier, like I said, it was great having you back again, brother. And I look forward to having you back again in the future. With that being said, with nothing else to say, did you have something to say, Mark? I'm sorry. With that being said,
yes, thank you. I would like to ask Chris one last question, which might sound awkward, but I've been going through the website and I love what I see, and I would love to be a part of this. I just wanted to ask him, what will it take for someone to, act like a mod for him in his community and, help keep the chat lively, help him save some time for more commitments.
As I appreciate that there, Mark, I'm sure Chris would love for you to, send him a DM in regards to that. But Chris, like I was saying, I appreciate you coming back, brother, and we'd love to have you back again in the future, as you're a good friend of USA. With that being said, I'd like to jump into the giveaway if there's nothing else to be said.
For sure. That sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
All right, brother. No, I see besides the giveaway that we'll be doing, you have a $25 BUSD giveaway. How would you like to perform that?
You know what? I'll let you take the lead on that.
Okay, yeah. So I don't have a wheel tonight, Chris, as I was, hosting tonight. So what I can do, and we've had a lot of fun with lately, is, and if it's okay with you, of course, sending the community, as I'm sure a lot is, maybe some aren't, into Vault Finance's Telegram and dropping a great AMA at USA Crypto Group sticker, and I'll be happily to go over there and pick your two winners as an additional two other winners from us tonight. So a total of 4 $25 winners from your Telegram, as well as I like to pick one best question as always.
That sounds good.
Alrighty. With that being said, Chris, if there's nothing else, we can wrap this up, and I'll have everything posted and pinned shortly, as well as a Telegram copy and YouTube upload link to you guys very shortly.
All right. I appreciate it, Mike.
Thanks, Chris. We'll hope to see you back in the future, brother.
For sure. Definitely.